Every man who has ever been wealthy began by first believing he could be. Before there was gold in his pocket, there was gold in his thoughts. Before there were houses and lands and factories and fortunes, there was one thing, a definite belief that he would possess them. Henry Ford had not $1 when he began his pursuit. He had no formal education. He had no family inheritance. What he had was a vision, and a faith in that vision that grew hotter each day until it consumed his very doubts. John D. Rockefeller, before he was a name, walked to his first job interview in worn clothes and with trembling hands. But in his mind, he already saw himself at the helm of a great enterprise. Charles Schwab, as a youth, carried steel messages and swept floors. But in his mind, he saw skyscrapers and empires. They believed before they earned. And because they believed, they earned more than most men can count. That is not a trick. That is not mystery. That is not divine favoritism. That is law. You must tear from your mind the lie that poverty is noble or permanent or beyond your control. Poverty is a temporary condition, born of indefinite thinking, sustained by fear, and cured only by the decision to think accurately, believe fully, and act with purpose. I have seen men lift themselves from starvation to abundance in a matter of years, not because the economy changed, nor because someone handed them money, but because they began to think definitely. The riches were always within them, but they were waiting for orders. And so it is with you. There is more gold within your mind than in all the mines of the earth, but it lies dormant until you give it orders. You are the only commander your subconscious will obey. And yet most men speak no orders at all. They let their thoughts wander like dogs off a leash, chasing every doubt, every fear, every worry that enters the gates of the world. They complain of lack while thinking in lack. They fear bills and create more. They speak of what they cannot afford, and thus ensure that their wealth never arrives. They declare war on their own riches by repeating the slogans of the poor. I can't afford that. That's too expensive. Money doesn't grow on trees, and then they wonder why money does not grow in their life. What you say is a command. What you think is a blueprint. What you believe becomes real. This is not philosophy, it is fact. Look at your present condition. You work hard, but the harder you work, the farther ahead the goal seems to move. You save pennies, but somehow the dollars vanish. You lie awake at night, not from abundance, but from anxiety.